5 on 5 Sports Podcast. As usual, myself, Brock. Um, this week, talking a little football, but everything but the football game happening on Sunday. As you can tell, Brock is already prepared, rocking his Brock Purdy Super Bowl jersey that I'm sure was extremely cheap for him to buy.
I would highly recommend people that get bored in class do not go on Fanatics the day after conference championship week and see all the deals for the Super Bowl patch jerseys. I am literally breaking one of the biggest laws though and repping my team's rivals colors right now, even though they're the same colors basically. But I had to make an exception for someone that has the same first name as me. And, Brock Purdy, man, it's a great story. But yeah, we're here to talk about everything but the game itself. I mean, we know that it's Chiefs and 49ers, but I was talking with Dawson. We just did our Sports Nerds podcast, which actually should be up video-wise everywhere on Twitter, or I guess X, Facebook, and YouTube. And then it should be up at some point in the next half hour if it's not up there already on all of our podcast streams on Apple Podcasts and Spotify as well.
Here's my question, complete sidebar. So do you tweet on X? Is that what we're going with now? Like you tweet on X? Is that what we're going with? Like there's no,
or is it Xting?
Right. I don't know. I mean, like I wouldn't say it's Twitter anymore, but I would like still say, oh, I tweeted. Like, oh, I'm tweeting.
Which is weird because if you Google Twitter or it's still or X, it's still twitter.com, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, it's like it's X. It doesn't make any sense.
And I don't know if that'll I feel like that might never get changed. It might just be a world where we morph into tweeting on X or tweeting on Z. Like whatever it turns into, we're just gonna tweet on it. Like it's just gonna be a thing.
Facebook just turns into book.
Right. Yeah. Right.
But no, we're here to talk about a little bit of everything involving the Super Bowl outside of the game itself. I was talking with Dawson on our Sports Nerds podcast earlier this morning, and man, the Super Bowl, I think we both agreed on this, and I want to get your opinion on this. I think the Super Bowl, maybe outside of the World Cup and the Olympics, and maybe it is bigger than that, is the biggest media event in the world.
Yeah, I would say so. Like, I mean, I think it's the most expensive ticket in the world. So, I mean, that also gets factored in, of course. But I would say that it's probably the biggest media event in the world. I mean, because you have people coming from all over to still cover it and do things like that. And the Olympics, I could see probably maybe taking it out just because it's actually prominent to everybody else sometimes in some other places. It's not always Super Bowl's not always prominent to them. It's definitely top three. It's definitely top three, and I think you're right on the other two that it could be.
It's crazy because like the added stuff that come along with it, because like the whole week is basically just events involving the Super Bowl, depending on where the location is. And this year specifically being in Las Vegas, this is huge.
And so I was thinking about this too. I think a couple nights ago, I was thinking about this. Like, I know the Super Bowl will probably never get a permanent host. Like, it's never probably going to always be here. But boy, Vegas might be the move.
Is Vegas turning into the biggest draw for sports now?
It very well could be, right? Because you have so much other things to do. And Super Bowl week, right? That's why it's a thing now, right? It's a week. You have so many people there. And nowadays with media and how everything rolls, like it's so much about pumping content and getting good content out. Vegas is a content gold mine almost, right?
Yes.
Like it's just sitting there. And so obviously, NFL business wise, I don't know if having a Super Bowl in one location is the smartest move, but I do honestly think if you polled most of the people there this week who have been to multiple Super Bowls, like different areas and everything, I would be shocked if Vegas doesn't come back as like, we should go there more.
And like, honestly, it just makes total sense because you mentioned like there's so much media content that you can gain. And I mean, they do it at every Super Bowl location anyways, but like, all these different shows, podcasts, content creators always show up and they're in these big halls that you'll go for like conventions or something like that, and they're making content. And with it being in Vegas, I feel like it's just a bigger thing because Vegas is probably the entertainment capital of the world now with all these different things going on. And who would have thought? Because it wasn't long ago where Vegas was considered like the thou shall not go
Yeah.
to and
Right.
for anything sports related because of the gambling addition to it. But now it's like we
Right now
got
it's
we got an NFL team, NHL. The NHL team has won, right?
yeah, yeah. They're
They've
really
won the
good.
Stanley Cup.
A couple times, like multiple times.
Aces
Yep.
potentially going to be the greatest,
Dynasty. Yeah.
greatest women's basketball dynasty of all time. Um, sounds like the A's might be going there. I heard things
Yeah, I
this
saw
week
that.
where like the
Yeah.
mayor was like, "We don't
Don't
want you to
come here.
come here," and then she's like, "I didn't mean that," but
Yeah.
so potentially a baseball team, and then I wouldn't be shocked in 5 years, 10 years that there's an NBA team there. If the NBA expands, whether people like it or not, I think an NBA team will go to Vegas before it goes to Seattle.
Yeah, I would say like Vegas. Like, okay, if you're thinking NBA expansion teams, I'm going Vegas. Another one in Canada, probably Seattle, and then like a Nashville area or something,
Kansas
maybe
City.
Kansas City. Yeah, like that would be the 4 places that you're thinking. All right, maybe there. But yeah, I think now, right? You made a good point. Everybody was, oh, I don't want to go because of gambling, blah 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 blah. Now that's part of it, right?
It's
That's just part of it.
promoted.
Yeah, and I think, okay, this is what I was also thinking about. Next year, it's in Louisiana, right? It's the Superdome.
Yep.
So chances of you having a WWE kickoff event at New Orleans, Las Vegas, yep, and it was probably the biggest one they've ever had. So
Yeah,
it's like
because
they flew everybody there. It wasn't on schedule. I think SmackDown the nights in Charlotte. Like it's not even close. So like you purposely brought people there for this because Super Bowls that like that's a thing that happened partially, I think, because of Vegas.
and I could be wrong. Someone made a comment that I think Live Golf might be doing something
Yeah,
down
there.
there.
Yep.
So like everybody realizes how big this week is for publicity, media, content, and so all of them are lining up events the same week, and it's only a recipe for success, like for people, for like the people outside the NFL. Of course, the NFL is going to make their money for the Super Bowl because it's the Super Bowl, but it's the people outside of it that are piggybacking off of the NFL that are also benefiting from this when it comes to content, revenue, stuff like that. I mentioned this in the other pod. I'm interested to see what the revenue numbers will look like for this Super Bowl compared to
Yeah.
previous Super Bowls, because one, I think this is going to be the most watched Super Bowl of all time. It usually ends up like every year it's either like barely one of the most or it beats the
Well, and
record.
I think Goodell said something like 200 million. I think something he was, or something like that. It was two something. I don't remember if it was 100 or 20. Like it was two something that he said. And if you're the commissioner, you don't come out and say that if you don't have a good, like, let's say it was 200 million. You don't say 200 and then it'd be 170.
Yep.
Like maybe 190, but so that's going to be pretty close, and that's absolutely insane number.
And let's be honest, one of the biggest reasons that number is probably going to be the way it is because of someone that's not even going to be playing in the game.
Yeah. 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 I
So,
still think it's awesome. I think it's awesome.
Yes. So Taylor Swift obviously is probably one of the bigger storylines when it comes to this Super Bowl, of course, because she is, whether you like it or not, the most famous celebrity in the world right now, I personally think.
Yeah, I would agree.
And right now, her face draws thousands, if not millions of fans.
Millions.
Yes, millions of fans. And I made this point. Well, off the air with Dawson on the Sports Nerds, but I made this point with him after we got off, and I was like, you know, if this game was on a streaming network, I wonder how many records of streaming viewership would break
Yep.
just because one, football fans are already going to buy it. And Taylor Swift, I guess Swifties, as they're referred to, are going to subscribe as well. That's just how big of a draw she is in the world. And honestly, I can't hate her for that. Do I like her
No.
music? It's not, honestly, for me, it's just not my type of music. Credit to her, though, to be able to market and build a brand as big as she's been able to build it, because she is probably the biggest brand outside of the NFL right now.
Yeah, I would say yeah, I can't argue with you on that, right? I think that's probably a proven fact. Yeah, I think overall, like the fact that you can market yourself that way, like not even anything to do with football or anything, just in general, like freaking masterclass, just absolute masterclass if I had to do that.
I want to get your opinion on this. Do you watch award shows at all?
Yeah, I was watching the Grammys.
Okay, so you were watching the Grammys. Did you see the whole Jay-Z situation
Yes.
where he was talking about how Beyonce has never won Album of the Year, even though she has the most Grammys all time?
Yep. Yep.
Taylor Swift did end up winning Album of the Year. What are your thoughts on that? Me personally, I'll say this first before you go. You can make hits. You can make great videos. You can have great performances. There's a difference between one individual song, one individual performance, one individual whatever, and a whole album of a good
Bangers.
lineup of
Yeah.
songs. And again, Taylor Swift is not my cup of tea for music. And that's that. But if I would have to go through both of Taylor's catalog and Beyonce's catalog, let's be honest, I think Taylor probably has a more consistent, I guess what you would refer to them as bangers
Yeah,
over Beyonce.
I would say so too. And I think part of like the Grammys and everything, it's subjective, right? Like there's no metric. It's like the NFL awards, right? Should Miles Garrett have probably won Defensive Player of the Year? No,
Probably
but
not.
TJ Watt did. Like TJ Watt should have, but he didn't, right? So it's voting, right? You can't really control a perception of somebody else, right? I think music. First off, I love music. I listen to music all the time,
I love
but
music.
that's part of it, right? I think it's such a perception based thing. I mean, shoot, Miley Cyrus had some absolute bangers, and she didn't win her first Grammy till this year, right? So,
That blew my mind when I
right, that's
saw that.
crazy. She didn't win her first. She won 2 this year, but like she didn't. And think about all the Miley Cyrus. The fact that like Party in USA never won a Grammy, dude. Like if we're
Everybody
talking like
knows
one
the song.
song, that song's a banger, right? Like, but that's the perception, right? And you got to think about it. It's one song, so it's how do you mesh with everything else? I mean, I think you said it right. Beyonce probably there's a reason why she has the most Grammys, right? There's a reason why.
Yep.
I guess I was not under the perception that album of the year was so like that. I didn't realize album of the year was the one. Like
I
that's
thought it
the
was
one.
artist of the year. I
I
thought it
thought
was
that was it.
like that just makes more sense than album of the
Agreed.
year.
But I was missing my brain did not comprehend that until I think this year. Like album of the year is the one. Like that's the one. That's the Super Bowl. That's the Grammy Super Bowl right there.
Yep.
But yeah, I don't know. Taylor Swift has albums after albums.
And she's
I was
probably gonna win
laughing.
another one.
Yeah, that's what I was just gonna say. I was laughing. She wins it. They like pan to Ed Sheeran, and that bro just looks so like, well, after she announces, oh, I'm gonna drop another album, that dude just looks so much like, well, all right, she's winning it again. Like
He's
it's
like,
just
yeah,
it's
gonna
a
push
Tom
off
Brady,
my
man.
next. He's like, I'm gonna push my next album to the following year.
Right. Like, and I feel so bad because I'm Casey Musgraves till I die. Like Casey Musgraves is absolute. That's my top artist. I'm telling you. She's dropping an album this year, and it's like, do you even have a chance? I don't know. Like that's what I
Good
like
luck.
about right. That's what I like about the award shows. I know some people hate the award shows, blah blah, but I don't know. Do you have a chance? Because you really don't know. Because in theory, you'd think Taylor Swift would just win all of these, based on like everybody's perception. But because it's perception based, you really don't know.
Yeah, completely agree. Taylor, it's crazy to think that not 6 months, probably like 9 months ago, not many people were ever considering Taylor Swift being a focal point in the Super Bowl if it didn't involve a halftime show.
Oh, and she's been so against the halftime performance. Like, I know they've tried to get her for so long, and she's just, "No, I'm not doing it. No, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it." And how if you're the NFL, I wonder how you feel if you're the NFL, right? Like, man, I've been trying to get her to do the Super Bowl performance for so long, and she just never does it. And now she's gonna be at the Super Bowl. She's not gonna be performing. She's gonna be there. I wonder how you feel if you're the NFL.
Yeah. And I just thought of this. Well, I actually mentioned it in the other podcast as well, but what if she doesn't show up for the first quarter? Like if she's not there at the beginning of the game? Dude, tinfoil hat on, okay? This is probably not gonna happen.
Yeah, based off this initial, I'm already on the probably not gonna happen train.
Does she make a surprise appearance during the halftime show? That's the first time she shows up.
So awesome. That'd be so awesome.
Like,
like
social
the
media would
Undertaker
break.
coming out of nowhere.
Like social media would break.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Like, imagine Usher's out here performing. I don't know how they would work together because, like, and again, I'm not familiar with all of Taylor's songs. I don't know if there's really a song that you can transition from an Usher song to Taylor Swift. But
Right.
like, imagine if she was like not there for the first half, and everybody's like, "What's going on? Like, what is going on?" And then, boom,
Yeah,
Swift in the halftime show.
maybe that's why WWE had their kickoff in Vegas so Triple H could talk to Goodell about a little script writing performance. All right, you cut to the box she should be in the whole first half, and she's just never there, and everybody's confused. Halftime starts, Usher starts going, she just falls, it just starts dropping out of the sky.
But like you got to do, it's got to be like Punk's
right,
return.
right.
You
That's
got
what
to
I'm
act
saying.
like the performance is over.
Right. Then she just starts dropping out of the sky.
And there's Taylor just coming down,
picking a song, just start going. That'd be awesome.
Again, not a Taylor Swift person, but I'm all in. If that happens, if that happens,
dude, I hope that happens so bad. Imagine, dude, you're right. The internet would just blow up. That thing would go crazy.
And like, I know that I think she's made a point of not trying to like overtake Travis's popularity or whatever, but like, if this happened, man, this would be unbelievable, especially if the Chiefs did end up winning the game as well, because it would be literally like the biggest story
ever. Maybe ever.
It would shatter halftime performance viewership as well.
Oh yeah, dude, I bet if you uploaded that like halftime performance, you upload that on YouTube, like they get millions and millions of views. Like that one may get billions if that happens.
Yep. Yes, and oh man, I mean, let's keep talking about halftime shows. This is something I wanted to talk to you, and I know you sent me your list, and I can't wait to talk about this. Our top 5 halftime shows that we have watched. I think this is your list and my list is only halftime shows that we have watched as fans. One sec, Peyton Culp out here commenting on our live stream. What is he? Does Taylor try to date Bobby Witt when Purdy beats the Chiefs? That's great. That's great.
All right. Hey, Peyton, no, I don't need to be talking about Bobby Witt on this. All right. That is the absolute last thing I want to be talking about right now. Jordan Walker contract is going to be less than Bobby Witt because we're going to get a steal. We're going to have, we're going to get him at less money, and then he'll eventually be better than Bobby Witt. So,
that's great.
You can clip that, Peyton, and then come back to it.
All right, let's get back. Shout out Peyton Culp though. Top 5 halftime shows. Max, we'll start with yours. You'll go from. We'll start at number 5. Who do you got at number 5?
You got the graphics?
Oh yeah, I'm waiting for you to announce it.
Well, let's see. Let's just.
Well,
put
it's
it
not
on
a graphic. It's just this.
Oh, all right. Katy Perry, bro. Okay, I will say this before we get into all 5 of these. My least favorite, dude, that weekend performance. If you had
okay. Well, before you trash on the weekend performance, we need to put an asterisk by it that it was COVID, so they were probably expecting him to use more of the stadium, and it just didn't work.
Oh, so bad, just so bad. But I go by halftime performances based on, hey, do I remember? Like, can I remember it? Do I remember watching it and be like, oh, okay, that was good? The Weekend, I do remember, but I remember it not being very good. Like Katy Perry one, I do remember watching that one And I don't remember how old I was, but I do remember watching that one being like, "Yeah, okay. This one's all right." And when you're a younger kid like that, I think if it just sticks out in your brain, it's like, "Okay, that one wasn't that bad."
That one was actually pretty good, and everybody remembers Left Shark and
Yep.
all the
Yeah.
memes that came along with
Yeah.
it. And actually, Katy Perry was my number 5 as well. And actually, the sports media club that I do at Iowa State, we did trivia night based off of the Super Bowl, and the question was, and I want to see if you can get this right. What song was she singing when Left Shark happened?
Oh, man, that's a good question.
Because I will tell you right now, it's not what you probably think.
I don't know.
A lot of people answered California Girls. It's actually Teenage Dream, and it kinda shocked me a little bit.
Oh,
I had to
yeah.
go back and listen to it, and I was like, "Oh, yep, I see it
Yeah.
now." But, no, both of us had it at number 5. It was a solid performance overall. I think it's the second most viewed halftime show. Obviously, Katy Perry at the time was Taylor Swift level of popularity, really, so it
Right.
doesn't shock me. Who do you got at number 4?
Roll the tape, baby. Roll the tape. Bruno. I remember Bruno Mars's halftime performance, and I like I would say it was like same level as Katy Perry. I think Katy Perry had a good, the meme come out of it and like lots of content around it that way. But like Bruno Mars, I kind of like Bruno Mars like music, right? So I feel like all right, I could vibe with it, and I knew a lot of the songs. I think that's part of it is you have to be able to kind of know some of the songs, and you're not sitting there like, what are we doing, right? Like, I mean, I was watching a lot on social media yesterday about apparently there's a U2 concert in the Sphere a couple nights ago in Vegas. People were saying that they didn't play any songs that they knew. Like, imagine going to a concert. You have like the biggest stage in the world, and you're
Uh-huh.
playing songs that nobody knows. I would just be mind blown.
That would be, if everybody had to go to a concert of music that I listen to.
Oh,
Um,
baby, you would be the only one in the front
I'd
row
be
just
like, "Yeah,
headbanging,
let's
and everybody
go."
would just be
Everybody,
like,
"Huh?"
"What is this guy doing?"
No, number 4 for me, I put Justin Timberlake.
Yeah,
Of course, everybody knows that photo that kinda went viral of him and that fan in the crowd. One of the first times, I think it was the first time where, like, someone with like, this performer was actually kinda, like, in the crowd throughout the performance, which was kinda cool.
right.
Um, Similar to your reason for Bruno Mars, memorable songs. I knew the songs, so it was kinda enjoyable as a whole. Wasn't anything really special to me, but I will say the one thing I didn't like was, I think if I remember right, Prince's family didn't want him to do a tribute to Prince because they were in
Yeah,
Minnesota, and he
yeah.
still did. So if there was one negative thing, I would say that would be it, because respect people who are no longer with us. Rest in peace, Prince. But
Acknowledging Prince.
but yeah, I got Justin Timberlake at number 4.
All right, roll the tape. What's number 3 for Max? Yeah.
Beyonce.
Hey, she already came up when we were talking about it. I think Beyonce has got some absolute bangers of songs. And like you said, right? This is why I put Beyonce in here. You made a good point earlier when we were talking about the Grammys of, yeah, she maybe didn't have like a one phenomenal album, which she had some very good albums, but when you're playing a halftime show, you get pick. I'm putting Beyonce's picked songs up against maybe anybody for just absolute, it, and it's a vibe, right? Like, I would put that up there against many other artists in the world. That's why I had Beyonce up there.
Would you be shocked if I said Beyonce wasn't on my list?
No, because I know your type of music. And Beyonce ain't probably in your top 100 artists.
Beyonce isn't on my list strictly because we had to wait 35 minutes because the power went out right after her performance.
Well, yeah. Well, that's
But I'm completely kidding. No,
Brock's
Beyonce's
probably got like Ozzy's Boneyard up above Beyonce in his all-time rankings of artists.
no comment, no comment. But no, number 3 for me actually is Rihanna.
Yeah.
I thought it was a solid performance last year.
I would say Rihanna is my honorable mention.
Yeah, okay, and that's what, memorable wise, Beyonce would be my honorable mention, just because
Yeah.
I remember a lot about it. Didn't care for it, but uh, Rihanna was honestly amazing. I really enjoyed it. I knew all the songs. It was enjoyable. Helped that, like, I had a crew of people watching the game with me, and we were all vibing to the music, so that was great. But it's not top two. I think it is the most viewed halftime show of all time, which defeated Katy Perry from her performance. But that's who I have at number 3. And now number 2. I
Brock. This is where, like, as you've probably noticed watching the show here today, or if you know Brock at all, Brock's got a different music taste than the average 22-year-old. Like, I will just say that, and that's been Brock for his whole life.
I'm different, man. I'm different.
This pick by me, I believe in it. Keep in mind, roll it. This is my number 2. I got Coldplay. All right. Coldplay also brought in Beyonce and Bruno Mars. And if Bruno Mars are going to be my 3 and 4, they just elevate Coldplay. And Coldplay, again, has some absolute fire songs. Absolute fire songs. Brock is, like I said, Brock's probably like, Coldplay comes on, he wants to turn on his Def Leppard and just start headbanging.
Def Leppard. Okay. I'm not that bad. I am that bad, but I'm not. I don't. Def Leppard is not my preference of like first go to. I ain't listening to Pour Some Sugar on Me every morning.
Oh, I wouldn't be surprised if what's your ringtone when you wake up? If you had to pick a rock song to wake you up every morning, what are you picking? Yeah, I
gotta go through the catalog because, man, there's not a lot of those that you want to wake up to. Definitely not doing any Slipknot or Korn or
that's true.
Rage Against the Machine, Nirvana. I gotta find some like.
If Brock could grow his hair out and get super long hair, Brock would definitely be the guy that would be in the rock band, like hair swinging, head banging. Absolutely, but
if I could grow hair,
it makes it even better that Brock can't grow his hair.
If only. I'm the guy that would. And honestly, I think there's some people in my life that are happy that I can't grow my hair out, but we'll leave it at that. Coldplay, my opinion. So I went into the show. So full disclosure, I remember this one vividly because I went into
Super Bowl 50.
Yes,
I think it was 50.
Panthers and Broncos in San Francisco. I went into this one hating the idea that Coldplay, out of all the people in the world, Coldplay gets the nod to do the halftime show. I was like, oh, there must have been nobody available because all their music. You know what? I'd take Beyonce over Coldplay.
Wow.
All of Coldplay's, all of it sucks. I'm sorry. There's not one song that I'm like, yes, I will listen to. They're probably great people. I'm sorry. Coldplay is a no for me.
Somebody clip that and send it to Coldplay in the DMs.
I'm sorry. They're probably great people. Would love to hang out with them. I will not listen to their music. It's just not good to me. It's not good music. Yeah. I'm sorry.
That is why I preference this pick with Brock. This is not Brock's type of vibe at all. At all. If you put Brock in like you're gonna go watch a jazz band, you're gonna like sit in like a slow jazz club for the night.
No, I don't think that.
I don't know if you'd make it out, dude. I don't know if you'd make it. I don't know if you'd make it more than an hour. That could be a good fantasy football punishment for you. You gotta listen to Colt. You gotta drive from Iowa
for a whole year.
You gotta like drive from Iowa to like Vegas, and you gotta listen to Coldplay the whole time.
Oh my god, dude! Don't give people ideas. Oh my! And then go to a Coldplay concert.
Yeah, you gotta like drive to a Coldplay concert, listen to Coldplay the whole time.
Oh my gosh, dude, that would be torture. I
hope you lose in fantasy next year. I hope you lose. You better hope you never lose in fantasy because that's what I'm submitting.
I'd rather get my chest waxed.
That's what I'm submitting.
That's where I'm at. Oh gosh, dude, you hate me. That. Oh,
I'm looking at Super Bowl halftime performances. Ones I remember, like, oh, Coldplay wasn't bad. And then I sent it to you, and you text me whatever you text me back. I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot Brock hates Coldplay.
Again, I just don't like the music. Oh my god, It's just a no for me. I'm sorry. Coldplay is just disgusting. Okay. Yeah.
He's got to regroup. He's got to take his. Yeah, he's got to calm down. He's got to regroup. All right, I'll make Coldplay
So number
slander out.
2 will now make more sense knowing what my music taste is. All right. Number 2, Bruno Mars featuring the Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Yeah.
Gotta emphasize the
Yeah,
featuring the Red Hot Chili Peppers. No, honestly, I do listen to Bruno Mars. I do have a playlist with a bunch of pop music. I'm not uncultured. I'm just very selective with who I choose. And so Bruno Mars is on that list. I thought this performance was great, especially the breakdown that he did on the drums, man. It was
yeah.
it was just banger after banger. And no, Bruno Mars number 2 could have been number 1, but number 1, we both have the same number 1.
Yeah.
I love how you formatted it in the text. You said your number 1 was Dr. Dre and Friends.
I'm pretty sure that's what it was called, wasn't it?
I don't even remember. It was Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg, 50 Cent, Kendrick Lamar, and I can't remember the female performer. Let me look it up, but you give your reason behind this.
I mean, this one, I don't
Mary
know.
J. Blige. Sorry.
Yep. I don't know if there will ever be one that I will remember more than this. This one, everybody, Snoop, like everybody that was in there was playing hits, and they were good hits too. Like, and the best part about it, it fits so many generations, right?
It was one of the first times where like generations were like combining with one another. Maybe not the boomers, but
And the performance of it was so good, like incredibly good. I don't even know how else. That one, the best way I can describe that one is you were going to have to do something pretty special in my lifetime to surpass that one.
Yep. I completely agree. It's my number 1, Dr. Dre and Friends.
I love Dr. Dre and Friends.
But all the songs I knew, except I'm not familiar with a lot of Mary J. Blige's stuff, but she did a good job. I would say I would have cut her performance down a little bit. It seemed like she had like the longest like performance out of everybody, and I would have loved to see more Kendrick.
Yeah,
but that's just me and my preference of music. I'm a huge Kendrick Lamar guy. Would have been okay with the whole Kendrick Lamar Super Bowl halftime show by itself. Not gonna lie.
What was your favorite one that they played? Do you have one?
From the actual performance itself?
Yeah.
Probably anything Kendrick did, and then honestly, seeing 50 Cent come down from the top.
That's what I was gonna say. That's what I was gonna say.
That was great. It was like looking like $1.50, and I can't say anything because I'm fat, but man, he didn't look like a 50 Cent no more.
Yeah, I was gonna say the same thing. Same thing.
Well, and like I remember there being like rumors that they were gonna do some tribute to Tupac.
Yeah,
and like I remember the camera like panning down. I'm like, oh my god, they're bringing out hologram Tupac. It's gonna go
that'd
down.
Be awesome.
It's
it was
in
LA too, wasn't it?
Yes, and that's why I was like, oh, here comes California Love right now. It's gonna go, and then $1.50 shows up.
I think,
which I'm fine with. No, it was great. I honestly enjoyed the whole performance as a whole. Like from start to finish was probably the best, most consistent and solid performance overall.
Yep, and I feel like every time you felt like it kind of slipping, somebody else came in and brought you back in, right? Like that was what made it good. And maybe part of what made it good is there was so many people, right? That could very well have been.
I honestly think, depending on like Usher is going to have to rely on a bunch of people. I personally think, because a lot of his songs, you think of it, a lot of his songs that a lot of people enjoy, are featuring Ludacris, featuring Lil Jon, featuring Will I Am.
Agreed.
Special appearance that I have outside of the tinfoil hat Taylor Swift theory. I'm trying to remember. Did he help discover who Justin Bieber was?
I can't remember. Maybe.
And the fact that if I remember, if that's true, And the fact that Ludacris is featured in one of Usher's songs, I wonder if it'll be like an Usher, Ludacris, Justin Bieber collab, like towards the
Yeah,
end or something like
maybe.
that, which would benefit a lot of generations because Ludacris is kind of on the older side. Usher's in the middle of everything, and then Justin Bieber's kind of the current generation phasing out as well. Not
Yeah.
that Justin Bieber's phasing out; it's just he's not as popular as he used to be.
The more we talk about this, the more I'm realizing that so the halftime show is entertainment, right? That is the goal.
Yep.
They should really be taking notes on it from WWE, man. They should just have one performer and then have like all these other people just kind of drop in. Like, oh,
Yeah.
special appearance. Oh, this person just kind of dropped in. Oh, boom, song. Like, I could totally get behind that. I think that'd be awesome. Imagine if you tuned in each year. Imagine if you tuned in each year and you didn't know, you just knew like the headline. You didn't know anybody else, but you knew there's gonna be like a couple surprise appearances.
Yeah.
I
Well,
mean,
like imagine
go
it was like
crazy.
Dr. Dre. That was it though.
Right, and then you get Snoop. You get all these guys coming in. It's like, oh, all right.
It would have been so fun. I still personally, selfishly, am a little upset that the Super Bowl halftime show is not Imagine Dragons this year because they're based out of Las Vegas, and I
Yeah, you've
personally
been
think
saying that. I think you said that last year after we
I
recorded.
did. No,
Who we thought it'd be next year.
It should have been Imagine Dragons. They
Yeah.
would put on an unbelievable halftime show. And a lot of people like to hate on Imagine Dragons. You know who Imagine Dragons are? They are this generation's Nickelback.
First
See
off, that's the
you,
most Brock answer
see you
potentially
laugh.
all time.
You laugh. You laugh at me, but it makes sense.
It
A lot of
does.
people like to hate on Imagine Dragons for no reason, and they have good songs. You know what Nickelback has shirts that says Nickelback, fan or liar. Because Nickelback does not have bad music. This is also me who just talked
there
about
it is.
for
There
5
it
minutes
is.
about Coldplay. But still, I think Imagine Dragons would have absolutely lit up Vegas, especially with them being there, so they have the roots there. Usher's okay, I guess. It's just that I think he's gonna have to rely on a lot of featuring people, which you like we said, having surprises would make this performance go well.
What do you think? What's your first song prediction?
See, the obvious answer would be yeah, right?
Yeah.
That's the
Yeah.
yeah. um that's a good question. I
I
honestly
would
have to say
go. I honestly, I think I would go with OMG. I think that'd be mine
that's a good one.
because you could
See,
just it
that's one that I think
starts
but like that's got a feature in it. I don't know if you could
right,
start
right.
with a
So
feature.
that's I don't know that I don't know.
You know what? I'll put a prediction down. They'll start with DJ's Got Us Fallen in Love.
Yeah, I could see that.
Just because it's one of the few songs that like became really popular that it's just him. So
Right, right. And I think it's interesting because you want to have like that first like initial pop of like, oh, okay, this is what it is. This is a song I know. I'm locked in now.
you can't do yeah to start. It
But
would be
you
like
agreed, and you might be right. Like you can't. I don't know if you can do one with a feature if you drop the feature person in right away. I don't know.
it'll be weird. Um, and hey, I've seen crazier things happen. Then maybe they can find a way to work it in. But like, not starting with your number one song, in my opinion, is important because like that's starting at the
Yeah, yeah,
peak, and
yeah. Yep, yep,
then you're just going down from there.
yep.
But I tell you what, T Swift shows up, that'd be hilarious.
we could clip that and post that on the internet, and we'd be hey,
Tinfoil hat, man. If it
yeah,
happens, I called it. If Taylor
yeah.
Swift performs at any point during the halftime show, it was all me. It was all me, and I'm not even a Taylor Swift fan.
Imagine Brock Purdy ruining the Super Bowl that Taylor Swift performed at.
Oh, that'd be oh.
Imagine saying that. Imagine saying that like 3 years ago.
Exactly. It would be hilarious. Real quick, shout out Keegan Odin who's tuning in, got the Purdy jersey on, got her. I was talking about earlier about how I'm kind of breaking my rule of repping a rival's colors, but here we are. You can also see in the corner my David Johnson jersey as well.
I'll
So
say I'll say this. I bet Keegan's got a good take on this. Like, I don't think you could pay me enough money to wear a 49ers jersey. I don't think you
really,
could. I hate the 49ers so much. And that's probably maybe because I'm a Seahawks fan, right?
see,
Like
I'm the lovable
would
loser
you
of the league, so I don't really
okay,
care.
well, fair. But like I don't think you could pay Odin enough money to start walking around in like a Packers jersey. No way,
Yeah,
right?
I guess.
Like
Well, and like
even if
let's
I
be
don't know.
honest though, like from my reasoning behind it is one, Brock, obviously. Two
Yeah,
is
yeah,
that
yeah.
the Cardinals have never been like really good enough to have a legitimate rivalry with anybody. And
Right.
honestly, I would never put on a Seahawks jersey. That's what it
Yeah.
is. I
Right.
would never put a Seahawks jersey on. Just like, I will I would put on, and I have because of a show that I did where I was like, if we sell so many tickets, I would wear a Hawkeye jersey. But
Yeah.
I would wear Iowa Hawkeye gear year round before I'm caught dead in any kind of LA Lakers gear that is not Kobe Bryant
Yeah.
related.
See, that's right. And I think it's interesting where that's just rivalries in general, right? But I don't
As
know, man.
says the Vikings make me not a shot, not a shot from
Yeah,
Keegan.
I knew that would be coming from you, Keegan.
But like let
Also, hey, first off, shout out Keegan. Haven't seen you in a while, dog. Love you,
yeah, shout
Keegan.
out Keegan.
Um,
So much pain.
so
So much.
much.
I get you. I get it, man. I get it.
Oh man, there's no way I could be caught looking with a 49ers jersey on.
But
Man,
you guys are legit rivals. Like
right.
again, I
And I
would
get it,
never be
right?
caught dead with a Seahawks jersey. Which, by the
Yeah,
way, love the
that's fair.
Chancellor jersey behind you.
Yeah, you like the new setup?
Oh yeah, this is prime time. Is that Baby Yoda ears
Yeah,
or
baby
Yoda
Yoda
ears?
ears.
That's great. That's great.
Signed Alonzo Mourning poster, D Wade
Oh,
jersey.
I might need to like actually put together a setup. This is just background of my bedroom, which
Well,
is
I
not
mean,
bad.
I had the corner of absolutely nothing happening for a while, just a blank corner. Looked like I was
Yeah.
in a dungeon.
I might need to start showing off like my random stuff here.
Well,
You want to see?
You're already flexing the 49ers Super Bowl jersey.
Yeah, you want to see the greatest Funko Pop that I have?
Yeah.
Okay.
Also, for everybody listening, this is also another Brock thing. Just random Funko Pops ever.
All right. Full disclosure, I did this for my entire family. It was a Christmas gift. They all got their own version of it. But Funkos came out with this thing where you can make your own Funkos. So it's a custom made Brock Beirman here. Let me turn off this light. Custom made Brock
Uh,
Beirman Funko Pop.
this show, I'll say this. This show, me and your show right now, has so much potential. It's going everywhere, man. You never know what you're gonna get. You never know what you're gonna get when you tune in. It could be. I mean, it goes everywhere. You never know what's gonna happen.
Oh no, that's why our thing is sports and more, man. Like it's
Yep.
like this. We haven't even really even talked about we haven't talked about the game at all. Oh,
We
it's
should start getting just like random guests like oh, this person talks about the Grammys and then me and you are
that
just
would be fun. That would be
in here trying to talk about the Grammys for like an hour.
getting people that like have so much knowledge in something and we have
And
nothing. And we're just like
and
trying
we're
to have
just
a
like
conversation.
right. Like we just drive the conversation. They're dropping like insights, facts, like yeah, I think Coldplay's got some bangers. Like, this guy's
No,
dropping
we're
just
not bringing
knowledge.
in no
Oh,
Coldplay fan.
if we ever had somebody that's talking about music, Coldplay is like if on the rundown, Coldplay is the number one topic that we're hitting.
No, sir. No, sir. Now I'm looking around my room. I'm like, what other stupid stuff that I can show you that I got? But like, no, this Funko Pop 101, man. You can't get another Brock Beirman Funko Pop anywhere else. And dude,
That's true.
look at the fit, dude. It's exactly what I wear.
Somebody screenshot that. Screenshot that right now. Screenshot that.
a red,
Clip that.
a red hoodie, black shorts. I think the only thing is wrong is the shoes are black. I wear white shoes, and then the glasses are to a T. Receding hairline. It's perfect. It's to a T. To a T what what I look like. But no, any final comments? We were going to talk about the Gatorade color or
One
the
thing,
coin
one thing
flip,
I'll
but like,
say is how in the world are the odds on the coin flip never 50-50? I mean, I just can't. That is one of the most confusing things I've ever seen in any sort of betting, gambling, sports, anything. It's a freaking coin flip. It's 50-50. How are the odds that you can bet on not 50-50? That doesn't make any. It's one of the most straightforward things that you can get.
well, look at this. Those that's the Super Bowl history with this the coin flip.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
That no, I'm agreeing with you.
so how in okay, you can argue, oh, all right, like this is not 50-50. Okay, but this is stats. Shout out Fletch. This is stats, man. Probability is 50. It's a new flip every time. This could be 100-0 and it's still 50-50.
The longest head streak is 5, longest tail streak is 4. Like, it's not consistent whatsoever. And like, hey, heads goes on a three-game win streak. It's literally 50-50.
And in theory, if you do this 100 more times, heads will go on a 3-game win streak and it's going to be 50-50. So how are the odds not 50-50? It's one of the things that annoys me the most in the world of that. It just doesn't make sense to me. I don't know why people think that makes sense. It doesn't. Out of all the betting and gambling in the world we're in, how are we not putting a head coin flip at what, like -110, right? Like, how is that? What are we doing here at sports books? But no more than me. I just can't believe it.
And yet they also like have odds on what color Gatorade it's gonna be. Like, I can't believe that's a thing. Like, this is the history since 2001 to 2023. Orange has been the leading. By the way, shout out clear/water. I love that clear is is an answer.
What's your go-to Gatorade? There's a correct answer.
Oh, you're gonna hate me then. I want to hear what you say then.
No, it's purple. The purple is easily the best.
Oh, okay, yes. I was worried. I was like,
purple
this purple
is
take, but
easily the best.
Purple is the best, without a doubt. Like, there is no debate about it.
Without a doubt. But the other ones are so overrated. Like, Gatorade's just kind of in general. Purple's the best.
Red is the most overrated.
Oh yeah. Also, that
anybody that
says
one,
so bad.
Anybody that says red is their favorite Gatorade is lying to you because they've just never had any other flavor.
I'm instantly questioning your entire beliefs on Gatorade and maybe other things after that point. You say
just like
red
if
is
they
your favorite
say
color Gatorade.
Just like if they say, I like listening to Coldplay.
There it is. I want to listen to Coldplay the rest of the day now. Move over Casey Musgraves. I got Coldplay to play.
All right. I think that's pretty much it that we have scheduled to talk about.
Yeah, I don't think I have anything else. Oh, I was going to say this. Last year, I was at the Super Bowl. I was trying to get – so I met some dude that was on the set list – or not on the set, like on the teardown and setup of the halftime performance. And I was trying to get him to tell me, like, hey, what's the first song? Like, I was trying to get him to tell me. Apparently, they have to sign a freaking NDA. Like,
it doesn't shock me. Well,
12, 15 pages NDA that, like, if you leak this and it gets back that you told somebody, like, you can get fired, you can get sued, like, so much stuff. It's crazy. I didn't even think, I guess, like, I thought there'd be things like that, but I did not think that they'd be signing like a book pages long of NDAs.
I mean, it doesn't shock me. Because I'm assuming there was lines out, weren't there?
Yeah, I would imagine.
So, like, I don't know. I think it's hilarious how much stuff that you can basically gamble on now when it comes to.
Well, and I think that goes back to too, right? If you're signing NDAs for all that stuff, man, you could easily WWE sneak in some people, like, easily, because if you could just NDA, I mean, you could easily just kind of
Remember when someone was sitting out of Raymond James Stadium timing the
Yeah.
national anthem?
Yeah. Who's singing it this year? Reba?
Honestly, I think so. I
think she
honestly
is.
don't know who's. I don't pay attention to who's performing before the game for some reason. It usually just comes out of nowhere for me.
What's the line on Shanahan or Andy Reid crying this year like Sirianni last year? I'd say not very good.
I was gonna say Shanahan doesn't seem like the type of guy that would
I
show
can't.
emotion.
When that happened, I was like, "What is happening here?" Like, hey, love you, America, but I don't know if the national anthem would ever bring me to tears. Maybe in the right circumstances, I guess.
And then I can guarantee you, if the 49ers win and they have a victory formation where Purdy takes a knee, he'll do. I don't know if people consider this his signature move, but anytime he celebrates, he does this
Yep.
weird like flex thing,
Yeah.
and it's the same motion every time. So if the 49ers win and they're doing victory formation, Purdy's definitely pulling that out.
Yeah. You might pound the ground a couple times first, and then just hit the.
And Cyclone fans know exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
He flexes the same way every time he celebrates, and it's amazing because I don't know, it's just amazing to me. But guarantee you, he pulls that out if they win. I guess before we sign off, I guess if we're gonna talk about the game, who do you got?
I'm not picking the 49ers. I'm picking.
But
the
who
Chiefs.
do you think?
I'm not picking the 49ers. I'm picking the Chiefs. I'm picking the Chiefs.
Score. What do you got for score?
How about them Chiefs? 28-24.
I got 24-20 49ers. CMC is gonna have
watch them, bro.
Hey, at least you're not a Kansas City Chiefs fan and a Hawk fan. Imagine having to go into this being God, we're going up against Christian McCaffrey. I had go and listen to the sports nerds at the
Purdy.
end. And Purdy. Well, I asked Dawson who he would rather have go off. Like, I told him in this hypothetical, because he's a Chiefs fan and a Hawk fan. In this hypothetical, he has no choice. 49ers win. Who would you rather not go off? Christian McCaffrey or Brock Purdy? And he said, without a doubt, and not hesitating, he would not want to see Christian McCaffrey go off.
What?
Because I can see it, because in a way the Hawks have the series against Brock Purdy. Brock never won against the Hawks. McCaffrey ruined their season.
Yeah.
Single-handedly. It wasn't the Iowa Hawkeyes versus the Stanford Cardinal. It was the Iowa Hawkeyes versus Christian McCaffrey. So I can see why he said it. But at the same time, the Cy-Hawk rivalry part of it, I can see why some people would choose Purdy.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know.
Are the 49ers your least favorite NFL team then?
Oh, yeah. Okay. Oh, yeah. I hate them so much. Like, I can't even describe it. Like,
So would you be all in on Purdy if he was on a different team and he was in the Super
Bowl?
Purdy.
I like Purdy. I think he's fine. I don't have a problem with him. I have a problem like everybody else.
What? You hate Kittle?
Oh, yeah. Dude, this is what I think, right? Like, I just hate how people, like, that team is so, like, they're so good, but they're
a nerve.
But there's so much, like, if one guy gets hurt, they're not good. Like, they're so one.
It's a team.
Yeah. And just how do you have all of these guys that are so good? And this is I hope you lose, because then we can be like, oh, maybe you're not that good, right? Because you have Kittle, top 3 tight end, McCaffrey, best running back, also Panthers. Let's not do that ever again. Okay, let's not do that. Debo, probably top 5, top 10.
I think hot take. I think Brandon Ayuk's a more important receiver than Debo is.
Agreed. Brandon Ayuk is the best number 1 guy or number 2 guy in the entire league. And it's not even close. And he's like, if you're talking to all receivers, probably top 20, top 15. So that's just 4 guys. Oh, also best left tackle in all football. Oh, okay. Oh, also
That's just
best.
offense.
Oh yeah, also best middle linebacker in all football. Oh, also probably like second best number 2 linebacker in all. Oh, also like Joey Bosa. Oh, or Nick Bosa or
They
whatever.
do
Whatever.
they have Moody though, so there is one that there is.
The problem is their secondary. I hate their secondary is not good. Their second. I don't
It's
think their
supposed
secondary
to be
is good.
good.
Yeah, but that's how you beat them, which is why I low key think the Chiefs can kind of beat them. But I really think the game comes down to it's been a whole year for the Chiefs, right? Will somebody from that wide receiver crew make a play against one of the San Francisco defensive backs? That's what it'll come down to.
Yeah. That, as much as I would love to see Purdy go off, I think Christian McCaffrey is the X factor for them. If he struggles, it's going to be hard for them to win.
And
I think
Spagnuolo's been cooking on defense for the Chiefs.
And I think that the like Purdy could struggle and they could still win because if McCaffrey shows up, that's the difference. Is I don't know. It's going to be hard for McCaffrey not to have a touchdown, or at least over 120 yards all purpose. I feel like he needs to hit over 120 all purpose.
Yeah, I mean, you do really feel like if you can control him, you can probably control the game.
And that's why, I think, the most valuable player award, and this can be the last thing that we talk about since we're getting close to the hour, and I don't want to keep you too long. But I think that McCaffrey or Mahomes probably should have gotten most valuable player.
I think McCaffrey should have. Now Lamar, I can see Lamar. I think McCaffrey. I think it should have went Lamar, McCaffrey. That would be my 2. Josh Allen.
Also, these should be announced after the wild card weekend.
Yeah, and also, I was thinking this too. If we're just gonna do this QB award every year, let's just
make it the QB award.
Make it the QB award and make a running back. Let's make it the freaking Tom Brady award, the
seriously
Walter Payton award. They already have the Walter Payton award, I guess. But I mean, you have no chance. At least the Heisman, Devontae Smith won it. You've seen where it's okay, this guy can do it.
Yeah, completely agree.
All right, you got anything else?
No, I can.
You're on 49ers. I'm on Chiefs.
Yeah, pretty much. I got a dinner on the game, man, because in the conference championship game, I said the winner. Well, Dawson first said the winner of the AFC game is winning the Super Bowl, and I was like, you know what? I'll take the NFC side, and winner has to buy the other person dinner. So
where's your dinner choice? Where are you gonna make him go?
Oh, that's a good question, because it can't be cheap.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
And it can't be just one course.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh, I might need it. I'm not gonna get ahead of myself because the game hasn't happened yet.
See, I was trying to trick you into that so you'd think about it.
Yeah. I can't. No, the game hasn't happened. So what is that? Jobs. What does Kobe used to say?
Job's not finished.
So
job's not finished.
But yeah.
All right. Well, another five sports podcast in the book with Brock and his Funko Pop. What did we learn today? Brock has a Funko Pop like him. He hates Coldplay. He wants Taylor Swift to come in.
My family's got a Funko Pop of each other as well. I got my older brother one with a scepter, a crown scepter, because we call him Golden Boy in our family because he's the favorite. So,
oh man, well, yeah, got a good episode here. Learned a lot of stuff. Man, I would say honestly, if you guys ever want to comment like you did today, that's actually more fun anyway. So,
I love interacting with comments.
Learned that Jordan Walker's better than Bobby Witt. Odin's never going to be caught wearing a Packers jersey. Lots of good stuff and more.
So much pain.
Screenshot that. Learned that and lots more on this episode of the 505 Sports Podcast. So that's all we got for this time. We'll see you guys next time. Max Olson, Brock Beirman. Peace.